Most people overpay for tower speakers like this. Here's why this pair is different. If you've ever walked into a showroom and heard a demo that sounded amazing, only to realize your living room doesn't quite match the acoustics, you're not alone. These Definitive Technology Dymension DM60 speakers actually sound good in real homes, not just in perfect demo rooms. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've tested a lot of tower speakers over the years, and honestly, many of them fall flat once you move them out of the ideal listening position. But the DM60s are different. They use Definitive Technology's Dymension design with bipolar arrays that fire sound both forward and backward, filling the room more naturally. That means you don't have to sit in one sweet spot to enjoy clear dialogue, balanced mids, and punchy bass. Whether you're watching a movie, listening to music, or gaming, the soundstage feels wider and more immersive without needing a dedicated subwoofer. One of the standout features is the 4 BDSS mid/bass woofers paired with a 1-inch tweeter. That might sound like overkill, but it actually makes a difference in how the speakers handle complex soundtracks or layered music. I played everything from orchestral pieces to heavy bass tracks, and the DM60s keep the sound tight without muddiness. The 3XR architecture also helps by separating frequencies more cleanly, so you're not getting a muddled mess when the action gets intense in a movie or the chorus swells in a song. Another thing I appreciate is how well these speakers integrate with other Definitive Technology gear. If you ever want to add in wall or satellite speakers later, they're timbre-matched, so the sound stays consistent across your system. That's a big plus if you're building a home theater over time and don't want to replace everything down the line. Plus, they're Dolby Atmos ready, so if you decide to add height channels later, these speakers can handle the extra load without sounding strained. The build quality is solid, too. The cabinet is well braced, which reduces vibrations that can color the sound. And the dual 8-inch radiators on the back aren't just for looks, they help extend the bass response without needing a separate subwoofer. That's a game saver if you're tight on space or just don't want another box in the room. I've had these in my setup for a few weeks now, and they've handled everything from quiet acoustic tracks to loud action scenes without breaking a sweat. Now, no speaker is perfect, and these have a couple of things to keep in mind. First, they're not the smallest towers out there, so if you're working with a tight space, you'll need to measure carefully. They're about 40 inches tall, so they're not huge, but they're not compact either. Second, while the bipolar design helps fill the room, it can also mean less precise imaging if you're sitting too close. You'll get the best results if you give them a little breathing room, maybe a foot or two away from the back wall and a few feet from your listening position. Overall, though, these are some of the most versatile tower speakers I've used. They sound great out of the box, they're built to last, and they play well with others if you want to expand your system later. Whether you're upgrading from soundbars or old bookshelf speakers, the DM60s deliver a noticeable step up in clarity and immersion. If you're in the market for a pair of tower speakers that actually sound good in a real living room, not just a showroom, these are worth a serious look. The link is below if you want to check them out on Amazon. For most buyers, the real question is not whether Definitive Technology Dymension DM60 midsize tower speaker, adjustable bipolar arrays, for BDSS mid/bass woofers and tweeter, 3XR architecture with 8-inch dual radiators, pair, black sounds impressive on paper, but whether strengths like Dymension speakers showcase our flagship acoustic innovations and select Dymension speakers feature built-in subwoofers, passive actually make daily use feel easier, more dependable, and more worthwhile after the first few days of excitement wear off. It is also smart to think about long-term satisfaction. A product like Definitive Technology Dymension DM60 midsize tower speaker, adjustable bipolar arrays, for BDSS mid/bass woofers and tweeter, 3XR architecture with 8-inch dual radiators, pair, black usually feels like the better buy when it stays convenient, comfortable, and reliable in normal everyday use instead of only looking good in the listing.